And that's how I kept entering it. It was like, I have nothing to lose here by being myself and being honest. I communicate like an adult. I feel this. I don't like this. I felt this, not you made me feel. Or we've never cursed at each other. We've never raised our voices at each other. But we've had very serious conversations where we almost broke up. But it's never been drama because we're two adults communicating like two adults. So I think for anybody that wants that relationship so bad, it starts at the beginning. It starts at how you show up. Who are you? What are you coming with? What do you, quote unquote, bringing to the table? But it's like, you want someone, for all the people out there, I want someone emotionally available and I want my ride or die. It's like, where are you showing up as that? Where are you having these conversations of depth? Where are you asking questions? Where are you starting to put and be vulnerable and put yourself out there? You're so scared of getting hurt, but yet what you're doing is then you're just pushing people away because you don't let them think, you don't let naturalness happen. And it was the first time I said, I'm not going to control this. Just let it happen. And here we are. We're moving into our home next week.
Oh my God, we're moving into our home. Okay.
So first home in my adult life.
Wow. That's so, I'm like, so I think I'm glad you cleared that up because it's so easy people can make a narrative of, oh my God, you just find the Disney movie, the rom-com. It's like, oh, I'm a freaking famous actress and you own a bookstore in a small town. Obviously, it's just going to work,
Yeah.
But I think what was really cool by you is to say that there were those moments and you kind of really had to stop yourself and you had your mom really lay it down like, he's a good man. Stick with it. He's the good man's man. So I'm curious if like, it sounds like you very much had like I guess value system deal breakers in terms of like if he did curse at you, if he did speak out at her, like if he was being actually disrespectful. It sounded like it was always in the realm of just misunderstanding, but he was always there to be there for you. So I'm like, when was the moment where it's like, okay, I'm not going to? Because I think a lot of people could struggle with should I, shouldn't I, it's like, that's kind of a rough game.
Because I have to, it's choosing your battles. Like I have my process, I do a step-by-step process within myself where I'm like, okay, first I have to, the awareness, I'm dysregulated. Okay, I need to regulate myself. Then I go into like, what was the trigger? What did he say to me that caused me this? Like it happened the other night where I said, do you want to go somewhere? And he went, no. I said, he just went, no. And I was like, and I like literally sat with myself and I was like, okay, what's coming up for you? And I was like, where am I? I'm like, it's in my chest. And I like feel it in my body. And I was like, okay. He said no. Is there an issue with him saying no? No. And I was like, what's this saying to you? Oh, I feel rejected. I was like, but there's no validity here. I was like, he just said no because he has every right. Sure enough, I just processed through and I was like, okay, babe, thanks for letting me know. I just wanted to spend time with you. And he looks at me and he's like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean I don't want to do. And it was just because I didn't go, oh, what the instead of reacting, I responded like an adult versus another example. With all the happening in the world, we had a conversation and I was like, listen, I need to know what support I'm going to have here and what's going on and what's happening. And he was dismissive of it. And I sat with that for a little bit. And then the next day I sat him down and I was like, let's have a talk. I was like, shall we? And I said, I came to you vulnerable, open, and in pain, and you shut me down. And I just laid it out for him. And he was like, oh my God. He was like, you're right. I've been incredibly selfish, took full ownership. And to this day, now has been consistent and been really great. And he always says, I need you to call me on my because I don't know.
Yeah.
So I think for anybody, if you're unsure of like, do I say something, do I not? We have to start addressing, is there a real threat or is this a projection of a past threat that I'm now putting onto this person to reaffirm a core belief and now be a self-fulfilling prophecy? It takes a lot of self-awareness and a lot of inner work to be able to stop, drop, and roll or stop and have a conversation.
Self-Hype Podcast.